Okay, I want to start by throwing it way back when you played for the San Francisco Dragons. Tell me about this.
Ooh, man, this is old school, but I remember this. This was my best game of my career. This was my favorite game that I ever played in, for sure.
Dang, I mean, you've had so many good games. What makes this one stick out?
Because in 2008, I was still kind of finding myself as a professional lacrosse player. And in this game, I went 31 for 41 with 22 ground balls and 3 points. And I remember like it was yesterday, man. So it felt a little too easy that day.
Oh, and if you comment down below on this video, you are entered in to win a completely brand new lacrosse set of your choice. Just thought I should let you know. Let's get back to the video. Dang, so would you say this game was like a turning point for you?
Yeah, because I had a really good 2008 season. Still didn't make any all-star games or anything. I wasn't a household name, so I didn't get any accolades. But as far as me feeling like, wow, I really belong in this league, I can be really good in this league, that was a turning point for me. So this game right here, pretty much, if I didn't have this game, then I don't know if I would have been around after this year.
Now, another question I really must know the answer to, is a hot dog a sandwich?
No, because a hot dog technically lays on the bun. It's not in between the bun. Now, if you took that hot dog bun and you ripped it apart and turned it sideways, then I would go with it being a sandwich, because technically now it's a sub or a hoagie. Yeah.
Wow, that actually makes so much sense now that you say that.
Yeah, you're eating on a 45-degree angle, right? You're not eating like this.
Okay, now I want to go to this goal. I feel like there's some crazy backstory that we don't know about.
I came off really hot at the beginning of the season, and I was like really excited because I was like, wow, I'm old as hell, but I still got it. So I was excited, and then I tore my hamstring, and I tried to play through it against the Whip Snakes, and I think I went like 18% on one leg, aside from decimating my stats, but it put me out even longer because I fought through it for a full game. I got back 2 games before the playoffs started, and I just was so excited that I had my gears back. I was healthy, because last summer was really, really tough for me. So that was just an emotional moment of like, I was rolling in this game and then sticking a goal, and we were humming, and I just felt great about our chance to win. So that's just like a super emotional, me loving the fact that I got to play lacrosse for a living moment right there.
Okay, now I came up with some imaginary face-off matchups, and I want you to tell me who you think would win. So first up, we got Matt Rambo or Blaze Reardon.
You know what, man, you picked a really good matchup. I think that Blaze would win, because I think Blaze would have a faster clamp. And Blaze and Rambo, roommate with Trevor in Philly throughout the NLL season. I mean, I'm just going to give it to Blaze because as a goalie, I would just assume that he's got a little bit faster reaction.
Okay, now what about Scotty Rogers versus Paul Rabel? I mean, Scotty definitely has the size advantage here.
I think Rabel would win, because right before they go down, Paul would say something that would make Scotty upset, and then Scotty would go early. Yeah, Paul will see this, and Paul will say, yeah, 100%.
Wow, I don't know if Scotty Rogers would be too happy with that answer. Now back to more highlights. Tell me about this crazy diving goal.
In this 2019 season, I was playing with house money because I came back. I knew I was playing for 1 year in the PLL, and my goal was to just win 51% every game. That's all I cared about. But once I scored, I ran right towards Cole Neville, who was in the stands. Cole Neville was a cancer patient this year. And I met him at Sloan Kettering. I went and visited him with Headstrong, and he was a co-captain for us in this game. And the energy in Albany was amazing. The stadium was packed, and we had to win by, I think, 7 goals to make the playoffs. And I think we won by 11. So when I stuck this G, I was just feeling it in that first half. I was killing it. And I ran right at Cole Neville, and I looked at him and I bowed. And then I got him the ball that I scored with and threw it up in the stands to him. So it was just all emotion. I had nothing planned for it at all.
Oh, and real quick, just to backtrack, another imaginary face-off matchup that we have to bring up. Sergio Perkovic versus Miles Jones.
Man, I'm going to have to go with Miles just because I believe Miles had faced off at one point. But man, the ground ball battle would be awesome.
Okay, now I know you've worked with basically every face-off guy imaginable, and so I want you to tell me about this guy right here, Trevor Baptiste.
Oh God, this is the best photo. This is perfect. This is Trevor right there. There you go. Super talented, super happy, an incredible human being. Just deserves to be everything he has right now. He deserves. He's earned it. And yeah, he's just a phenomenal person. He's the face of the position right now, as it should be.
Yeah. So like when you saw him in high school, did you know he was going to be this good?
Oh yeah. And then I remember right before his very first game against Duke, I texted Carcaterra and I said, Trevor Baptiste, remember that name. You're going to remember after this game. He did everything we thought he was going to do and more, and I just love it.
Yeah, so like before he was committed to Denver and he was going to go D3, were you like, what the heck? Why isn't this guy going to like a high-level D1 school?
Well, I'm never somebody who's like, if a kid's like, oh, I'm going to go D3 or D2, I'll never say, oh, you should go D1. In fact, it's the exact opposite. A lot of kids will be like, oh, I'm holding out for a D1 team. And you're like, there's so many good schools in D2 and D3. Like, what are you doing? And it's this ego thing. Kids are so starved to throw it on Instagram that they went D1, but they have to think like a 22-year-old or 23-year-old person who just graduated and needs a job now. And it's really hard to get a kid to think that way. I know that when they sent that message out and Denver wanted to take a look, it was like, we know that if Denver looks at him, they're going to want him. And the coolest thing, I always tell everybody, like, what makes Trevor Trevor? And I tell them, this is Trevor in a nutshell. He goes out, breaks college records, wins first team All-American, wins a national championship, comes home 2 weeks after the season and wants to go over with me how to face off standing neutral grip because it'll help him against long poles. So you have the best kid in the country is the next prodigal son of face-offs, comes back and wants to get better. And I said, that's what makes him different, Meanwhile, we have sixth graders that, go 80% in a game, but they don't want to hear us tell them how to get better. So that's what makes Trevor so special for sure.
Oh, and hey there, by the way, I'm guessing if you're watching this video that you probably want to get better at lacrosse. I just want to let you know that every single Tuesday, I send out a free newsletter packed with tangible tips on how you can become a great lacrosse player. No pressure at all, but I'll leave a link down below if you want to go check it out. Okay, now what are your thoughts on TD versus Trevor?
He's more fiery than Trev. It's funny because you would never expect that talking to him, so he's so quiet. But that's why I like TD so much, because he's such a respectable, good person. But like me, once he gets on the field, he wants to eat your face. And then he sits down and he loves to be a student of this. He loves to analyze it and break it down. And he's just a really good kid. And I think that, it gives me a lot of pleasure seeing, Trevor come in and then TD come in and kids aspiring to be like both of them. Just makes me feel really good because our position is in really good hands and because of guys like that.
Okay, let's switch gears for a second. I have to let you know, I stalked you on Instagram and went way back, and I found this picture captioned Broccoli Rob.
Wow, how long did it take you to get back there? Mac O'Keefe liked it? Dude, Mac O'Keefe must have been 9 years old when I posted this.
It legit took me an hour. I kept scrolling, it would load, and I would just go like this, and I was literally doing that for an hour.
Wow, 2015. I mean, that's a funny post, but I was still learning Instagram back then. Can't believe how many likes it got. Broccoli Rob is funny. I like to laugh at things that I think are funny.
Okay, also, I want to know your thoughts on Connor Farrell.
I think Connor is going to be a future star. I love his approach. I love his demeanor. I love his personality. He's just a really good dude. And I've been lucky, man. I've gotten to face off against all of the greatest face-off guys of all time I've gotten to go against. Connor is the next generation, and it's really cool to be able to say I faced off against my heroes, and now I get to face off against guys that are going to be the next big thing. So it was cool.
Okay, I remember listening on Unbuckled Chinstrap. He says he drinks a gallon of milk a day. Is that actually true?
I don't think Connor would be alive to tell that tale if he did that. But who am I to say that you can't live your dreams?
Oh, and another thing I wanted to ask you, I don't know a ton about face-offs, but I know that the rules just got changed, so you can only go, standing neutral grip. So, in your opinion, does that change the position?
I mean, it all depends, right? If you have been working with us in the FOA, we have been every clinic or draw day we've ever run since 2012. We've worked on both knee down moto and standing neutral grip. If you haven't worked with us, then this is all crazy new to you. But our guys are pretty pumped. They're just look, this is the way it is. And of course we're trying to fight tooth and nail to get a better decision from the rules committee, but we have no say in that stuff. So all we are is just people trying our best, but it's a way more natural way of facing off. It creates more transition. It's faster. It's all that stuff. So it's a more dynamic style of face off. So I'm on board with it. If they go with that rule change, it is what it is. We'll teach our kids and they'll be fine.
Yeah, I love that advice. It's just control what you can control and just don't worry about the rest.
Yeah, I mean, it's not about the rule change. It's about how you react to it. And we can sit on Instagram and throw poop emojis and pout about it, or we can get to work, and that's what we're doing.
Oh, another thing I've always wanted to ask a face-off guy is when a team brings out their long pole instead of their fogo, are you let's freaking go? Because basically they giving up on trying to match up with you?
Yeah, it's a real good feeling. especially because I stand up. A lot of guys will go on a knee. Yeah, they might win the clamp, but they're going to have to fight for it a little bit. The problem sometimes when you go against either a backup or a long pole, because they're not used to face-offs, and referees visually are so used to seeing a clash. When you go on the whistle, you smoke them and they haven't moved yet. And sometimes you get called for an early. But yeah, whenever I see an LSM come up to the goal, I'm either going, based on where my wings are, I'm going to go to where the space is, and the space was forward for sure.
Okay, another thing I was thinking about is like Fogos. That's got to be like the toughest position mentally in lacrosse. So like when a guy's losing a bunch of faceoffs in a row, like what do you tell him to do?
My rule with my FOA guys is you have from the time you lose the faceoff to the time you get to the sideline to feel bad for yourself. And then you have to go into analytical mode and not emotional. So you have to focus, okay, what did I do wrong on that? No, like, oh, it's the refs, right? Get that out of your head. What did I do incorrectly? What is he doing right? And then how do I make him pay for it on the next one? And that's what you have to obsess over, because there's so many different ways to win a faceoff. So that's what I would do.
Okay, is it just me, or are you fired up right now? I mean, Greg was just dropping knowledge bombs left and right. Also, leave your comments down below if you want to enter in the giveaway for a completely brand new lacrosse head of your choice. I'm going to be announcing the winner July 14th, so get those comments in. I'm Jake with Lax Weekly. I hope you have a great day. Peace.